Yes, we welcome you back to the Burgami Summit Breakfast Show. And 8 o'clock to 9 a.m., Monday through Friday, we make no apologies, no pretenses as to bringing you subjects of implication to our dearly beloved Nigeria. And today is no different. Our topic is the economic implication of continued power blackout in the North. Economic implication of the continued power blackout in the North. At the halfway point between 8 and 9, we shall open the telephone lines for you to add your comments. And for that reason, we're going to get started. I think we give you a background as to today's topic. Oh, by the way, our guest is already in the studio in the person of Engineer Thomas Toro. Is ex-director of TCN. Ex-director. He will give us the full, portfolio. Just when we get through with the background. The head Department of Information and Media Services by Bayero University, Kano, Nura Ibrahim, has lamented the recent total electricity collapse affecting 14 northern states, saying that it has caused widespread concern and frustration among citizens. According to him, the blackout has left millions without power, disrupting daily lives and stalling economic activities. What's even more alarming, he says, is the deafening silence from northern leadership. Despite the severity of the situation, there has been little to no public response from key figures, leaving the region feeling neglected and abandoned. For a region that already struggles with developmental challenges, the lack of electricity is a major blow. As industries are at a standstill, businesses are losing revenue, and homes are without basic amenities. In moments like this, leadership should step up. Yet, the North remains leaderless in both word and action. Ibrahim is of the view that the silence speaks volumes about the governance gap in the North, where leaders seem indifferent to the plight of their people. It raises questions about the priorities of the Northern leadership, especially at a time when the region needs firm representation and decisive action. He insists that the people of the North deserve better. They deserve leaders who not only acknowledge their suffering, but also work tirelessly to address their needs. The ongoing electricity crisis is a reminder that without strong, accountable leadership, the region will continue to lag behind in development, insisting that it is time for northern leaders to break their silence and take responsibility. That's the background to our topic, the economic implication of continued power blackout in the North. I have two gentlemen in the studio, not one. I have Ambassador Ibrahim Maisule, who's the Vice Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Arawa Consultative Forum, and also Engineer Thomas Toro, Dania, who's Ex-Director of TCN. Engineer, I hope I didn't scare you this morning when I told you that you walking into the studio, everybody wants to know exactly what is going on, especially since you're an ex-director of TCN. TCN, to most Nigerians, they don't know exactly what you do. I mean, you can say TCN is a transmission company of Nigeria. Okay, good. But in reality, you got the Gencos. You also have a distribution company. But TCN, you used to be the baba of electricity. What happened? uh, Ambassador, you can say hello to the people. They're welcoming you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Engineer Thomas, we're waiting on you. What is the role of TCN in this? I'm sure with the blackouts all up on the north, you've heard so much from your colleagues. Tell us, please, what's happening.
Well, like you earlier mentioned, we have the GEMCO, we have the DISCO,
Yes.
we have the transmission.
Yes.
Transmission is in between GEMCO and DISCO.
Okay.
Generate, they transmit to DISCO.
Right.
DISCO distribute.
Okay.
And that's the role of TCN.
Okay.
Transmit at long distances to all the nook and cranny of the country, to distributions. And then they now supply consumers. Now, over the years, GEMCO were privatized, DISCO were privatized. Transmission was left in between to handle by the government up to today.
Okay.
And that's the role of TCN.
And sorry, okay. You still...
The GEMCO, all the generating stations are interconnected.
Yeah.
Wherever they are, they bring all the bulk supply interconnected, whereby if one is out, one can see supply. And like that, transmission will now transmit this bulk supply to various parts of the country.
So it's like a mesh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Yes. So that is exactly what transmission is doing. Because when you look at the time privatization took place, the GEMCO and distribution, when you see the nature of the transmission, it might be very complicated for you to privatize it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why, okay, let's test the GEMCO, DISCO, and see how they are going to relationship. Yeah. Then transition will now be in between. They receive and send. Mm-hmm. And of course, they have to be on the ground to see that this bulk supply is actually transmitted with good quality supply, stable, and the rest of them. Whereby at the receiving end, you receive what? Good profile voltage for the consumers. So that's in a nutshell, the function of transmission.
That's the crux of it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're going to come back to you because, like I said, when you have a situation where almost an entire part of Nigeria is in a blackout, I mean, it's unheard of. And but let's first go to the ambassador. And you know already where I'm coming from. The economic losses from this blackout. Nigeria is currently struggling. We're trying to get our economic lives in order. So how much has this literally damaged, the businesses and most of the companies that are making sure that the lives of the northerners are seamless?
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be with you. I think first and foremost, you have to appreciate that the problem we are being faced is accumulation of a lot of neglect from day one. If you remember very well, we started with hydro before even the discovery of the gas. I haven't had the opportunity of serving in a country that is actually so diverse. It's called the Republic of Indonesia. And I remember when I went there, I had the opportunity to write a lot of memos over here. There is no point to over-centralize power distribution or power generation. What normally in an ideal situation is, wherever there is enough sun. Of recent, in the Republic of Egypt, the current president generated over 2,000 megawatts from solar. You can see the panels all over. With the heat you have around here and with the hydro, there was no reason why you could not distribute power within the resources given in certain areas instead of concentration on one. I can see that we still have the hydro from Shororo and Jeba, but the thing is that the expansion there is negligible compared to the demand. He is a professional. He can understand what I'm really talking about. In terms of the loss, as you rightly said, it has already been said by a lot of organizations. Forget about that. Even the issue is the moral decay, in the sense that nobody would expect for 10 days.
Not even for a day.
For 10 days. And you find out that even the reactions from those that are concerned is coming out very late. I agree that some of the leaders, the traditional rulers, made yesterday in Kaduna, together with the governors, that have made statements. The earlier consultative forum, which I belong, has also made a statement. And I've seen the lead of Northern Democrats have also made a statement. But the argument is that typical of us, this one will come and go. Nobody is going to be held responsible. And this is why we always take it wrong. There must be a failure somewhere. I mean, because it can't come from the air. There must be a failure somewhere. It's running into billions, in fact, trillions in terms of the loss of the economy. And you know it. The small traders, the panel beaters, those people that are selling cold soft drinks and cold drinks and what have you. Forget about the people who are printing papers and what have you, the stationery stores. So many things of the lower level. And if you look at it, a number of people now are living on solar. So if you have developed that one to a certain level with enough panels and whatever is happening in other developed countries, would have been a different situation. You should generate power from what is available in certain resources. We have now agreed that politically we have 6 jobs. You have 3 zones in the north. There is no reason why in places like North, where the North is, you cannot develop enough power through hydro, or you cannot develop power through solar system. And as I said, Egypt is here. This month they came in, generated over 20,000 megawatts through solar. So there is no. The issue is if you look at the kind of destruction that is happening, and the kind of filtering that has been happening, before the filtering, the kind of theft that is happening in those places, you just think about crying. There has been panel and probes and everything. Nobody has been held responsible. Of recent, the only one that was sold is the minister from Taraba, who was said to have alleged to have taken over 30 billion and then he bought houses and whatever. And you found out that left and right that he doesn't now bail and whatever. So the system, you don't have a proper system in a country. There has to be answers. Accountability. If you don't have that way, you can't go anywhere. So this is actually one of the problems. The issue of what we have lost in the country is unimaginable. Nobody will expect at this period. And the most annoying thing that somebody is going to come and tell you that there is an advice that the security situation is not convenient for this kind of this kind of admission at this level. I mean, it scared you. I thought, are we really in a very serious nation? Because that's actually one of the problems that one has to realize. I agree at the end of the day. But this yesterday, they're talking about 5 days from now, hopefully.
I was shocked. I just read in the paper this morning that the lights will be restored 5 days from now.
That's okay.
I said, that is treasonable. You cannot, how do you get an entire section of the country, no electricity, and you're promising 5 days from now? It's like going to the moon.
In fact, that one is even fair compared to the time it started. Nobody has come and tell you initially that this is what is actually happening. Somebody will tell you it's in Benue. Somebody will tell you it's in Shororo. Somebody will tell you
where went you get to?
I mean, there is really a concern. And, there's so many allegations. If you look at what the ACF has said or what the Northern Governor said, it's deliberately people are thinking it's to destroy the Northern economy. I think if you do not do anything seriously to find out that anybody who is being held responsible for one of the fault is being properly punished, you have a problem that people will start thinking the way they are thinking. And that is not in the good interest of the country. We have a lot of problems already in our hands. So the lesser we start imagining additional one, the better for all of us.
Engineer Thomas, help us here. We know that over the years, we talk in terms of decadence. We talk in terms of the types of TCN infrastructure that have been either destroyed or not maintained or just neglected. Now, there is a combination of all of that involved in this. From your colleagues that you've been talking to, you were coming to meet me this morning here. What exactly did they say is the problem? Tell us.
I like the submission of the ambassador. He has analyzed so much on this. And like I told you, transmission is interconnected.
Correct.
To get this power generated and transmitted, what happened? 9 days consecutively. This is the first time in history that I've ever witnessed something of this nature.
You, a director of TCN.
The first time. Now, what happened? We have the Kainji, we have Jebba, we have Shiroro, all hydro, located in Niger State. We have Oshogbo transmission, 3 lines coming from Oshogbo to Jebba. We have 2 lines, 330 from Jebba to Shiroro. We have a single 330 from Shiroro to Abuja. We have 2 330 lines from Shiroro to Kaduna. Now you could see the way they are interconnected. From Jebba, it goes to Benin KB 330. From Jos, we have a single line which is in service now to Kaduna. Now from Ugwaje in Enugu State, Makodi, Jos, there's another double 330 coming to Jos. From Jos, we have a 330 single line going to Gombe. From Gombe, Damaturu, Maiduguri. Now, until we close this gap in the north, we'll still be getting this problem. Now, he has analyzed very well by putting 5 days, which of course means just imagining whether these 5 days will be realistic.
Correct.
Why? Now, the 2 lines coming into Kaduna, from Shiroro, from Enugu, down to Kaduna, they are all out. Northeast is out, Northwest is out completely. Apart from Niger, because Shiroro is in Niger, they still have supply to fit Niger. They have the one coming from Shiroro to Abuja, goes to Lokoja. So they may be having supply. And that's why Abuja is still a little bit stable, because the Shiroro line is still feeding to Abuja.
Yes.
Now, how do we close this gap? If these 2 lines are out now, which we are seeing, definitely we are going to encounter this problem. We have a double circuit that has been contracted many years. But I can tell you as it is today, there is no bay in Kaduna, no bay in Jos for that new line to be energized. Because the one existing now is overloaded. So you can imagine if we now transport power from Ungwaji, Makodi, Jos, Kaduna, Kano, Maiduguri, you can see the long distance line. So there are bound to be issues like high voltage will emanate from that. Which is not something that anybody will just take it lightly. Except those 2 lines from Shiro to Kaduna are restored. Now, I was just thinking, how do we close this gap? We can take another supply from Benin KB to Kano. We can take another line from Damaturu to Kano. That loop has been closed. Now, one area that many people have not even thought about it. From Shiroro to Abuja, it's a short distance. From Abuja here to Kaduna, it's a short distance. Instead of taking from Enugu down to Jos, why can't we just close this gap? Shiroro, Abuja, Kaduna. Now that these 2 lines from Shiroro going to Kaduna are out, we can see fit from Shiroro, Abuja, Kaduna. You don't even need Abuja at this point in time. So that I see that gap has been closed. But for how long shall we continue this? So you could see the weak areas. And until all this interconnection is completely done, North will be having these challenges anytime there's any slight problem, like what we are seeing today. it will only happen.
But you know what actually boggles the mind is that there are people like you who know all the shortcomings of the TCN in terms of the interconnectivity of all the lines around the country. Are you saying, with all the challenges we've had in the power sector, you know, priorities have not been given to ensure that this kind of problem never arises? Because it just did not happen overnight. Like the ambassador said, this has, and just like you have illustrated, it's not like we don't know. But is it within the TCN? Is it the planning? Is it, do you need the federal government to give you marching orders? Marching orders in order for this not to happen?
In every section of this country, like Ambassador mentioned here, we must protect our region. People must speak out. People must rise to the challenge to see how do we develop this section. So there must be interest and to see these things are done. If that is not there, leadership is very key in this area. Very, very key. When you have stable leadership, they have vision, they have focus, they are determined. These are things that can be ironed out within a short period. Look at Mambila. For how many years? Since I came into Nepal 1988, there was a 5-year program that Mambila would be on board.
And only God knows the amount of money that have been released for that one.
Can you understand that? Now, up today, Mambila, nobody can ever tell this is status of Mambila today. Now, if there was a hydro station there, you find that, yes, we can now have bulk supply from Mambila. All the northeast could be connected even down to the middle belt. Yeah. And to Kaduna and the northwest. Which there will be stability when Mambila is working. Ambassador said, solar, we have sunlight here, we have wind. These are renewable energy that can be utilized. And so we can now, see the way, even if the general utility is not functioning, this wind, solar could now augment the hydro. And what that means that we are generating supply. This thing is not forthcoming. So until this thing is done, until we have leadership, stable leadership, committed leadership, because this thing, I don't think there are things that will last for too long. Why have we kept this gap for this long? We couldn't link them. Even from Enugu, you see, can go to Makodi to Yola. From Yola to Jalingo. You close this gap. All this thing, if this one is not there, you have a source to feed all around the country. And that is what the North is facing today. Because that gap has not been closed. And until that is done, who is going to take that seriously?
Okay, you see, words anyway coming from the grapevine is that there is no leadership in the North. You're, a prominent person in the Arawa group. North has been accused of not having the right leadership to have foreseen what is happening now. That's number one. And two, now that it's happening, why is it that everybody's kept quiet for so long? Because, power is a serious problem. You can see what happens in countries where, was it the revolution that had to do with a loaf of bread? Them changing the price of a loaf of bread?
Tanzania.
Sudan, is it?
No, it's not Sudan. It started with, what's it called?
Tunisia. Yeah. You see? With a loaf of bread.
The Arab Spring.
So, you can now imagine electricity, which connects to literally everything. Why is it that leadership, people are asking, is lacking in the North as to why you haven't said or done anything about it?
You see, let me be very clear. There is always this misperception.
Okay.
Political leadership is always on the hands of those that are assumed to have been elected. I'm using that word deliberately.
Correct.
Because they will tell you don't have a mandate. What the other groups are doing, the ACF, the lead of Democrat, the Northern Elders, like what is happening over there, you have the Afiniferi or Hanid and what have you. They're just pressure group. You can't decide, you can't take any serious action, you only have to put a pressure. Maybe with the way things are happening now, the yesterday's meeting was a combination between the political leadership, that is the governors, and then the traditional rulers. The next is to go to the National Assembly people that are also perceived to have been elected. So these people...
That is required, perceived to have been elected.
So with this kind of people around, then definitely you have a way of moving out. There has to be a collaboration between the project groups and those that are in the elective offices. You can see that the moral guiltiness started from the quality that the politics has become so commercialized. You don't have to get a mind. There is no discipline between ideology A and B. You move from here, you move there. So if you look at the First Republic, everybody knew that the PRP or the NAP was on the left-hand side and then the NPC is on the right, and everybody believes in what he's doing. The party is strong. Up to the time of the MPN with the Kinley, the party takes a decision. Now, whoever is in a place and has his own money, aspiring for office, and you find out virtually the political party leaders are directly named. If you go to look at what is happening now with the election of local government. In each state, you find out that everybody has won all the seats.
There were no ballot papers.
That's why they even have the guts to tell you that this one is zero, this one is zero, this one is zero. I hope even the representative of those parties, the agents, should have been able to vote for that particular. We found out that we have a long way to go. The quality of the leadership has got to answer some of these problems right from the one. And you find out that in virtually all the two National Assembly chambers, you have what they call the caucus of the Northern Senators or the caucus of the House of Representatives. But if you look at the situation we're in now, we all feel we are guilty because it is actually our generation that brought us to this kind of level. You may not be the person directly, but this is not the country that we have passed through. So everybody knows that this is not the country we have passed through.
Ambassador, it's heartbreaking to see that almost everything that has disappointed dear Nigerians have all been centered on corruption. You see? Because what the engineer is saying, it's not like they don't know. It's not like they had not probably planned for it. But who were those who were supposed to execute it? That's number one. Then we're talking about our National Assembly people, etc., who are supposed to be the oversight individuals. You'll find out that they are even worse than, the people who are sitting there whom they're supposed to oversee. That is very, very, very ridiculous. Anyway, the point is we're happy that you're shedding some light. Because not everybody in the North is finding this funny at all. You see, even globally, you made mention of the what do you call it, solar energies, of the wind and all of that. In 2024, should there be no power anywhere in the world, especially in a place like Nigeria, so blessed with so much sun? Should there be?
I'm sorry to say it. You see, there is nothing that you use to generate power that you don't have in Nigeria. Exactly. It is only the power that you don't have. Exactly. but there is nothing that you want to use to generate power, from waste to solar to hydro
to everything.
Even the gas has just been discovered left, right, center. So obviously, it is the quality of the leadership. Come back to it, because obviously we're in a very bad situation as a country, and you look at the population growth. And with this kind of a problem, income-wise, obviously you cannot think about having any other security. Unless, of course, if you don't allow the man that is impoverished to sleep, the man that thinks he has something will not sleep.
Absolutely.
Because he's not going to allow you to sleep. That's actually the danger we are in.
They have forgotten that that is a parable. you know, it's we thank you for certain issues that you have actually brought up, which of course should add to a solution as opposed to just mentioning problems that we already know. Yes, no power in the north, and the president giving marching orders that they must restore power. If you can give that kind of order, you ought to know who you're giving the order to. Let him just drive there and restore the power. But so it's quite a surprise. Now, for our listeners who like to join the conversation, as you normally do at the halfway mark, we're going to open the lines now. This is the Burgami Classic. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Shala.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice work.
Good. Always nice to hear from you every morning.
Good morning, our guest in the studio. Mr. Shala, on this topic, I want to say that power... Hello?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I want to say that power problem in Nigeria is not peculiar to the north alone. It's everywhere, but it is more pronounced in the north than other regions. And our people are not serious. I mean our leaders. The leaders are not serious. The northern leaders. They don't care about what happens to their people. They only care about themselves and their nuclear family. They don't care because they always want their subjects to always bend down for them. Always to be and always want the subjects to respect them at all costs. They don't care because they are comfortable. Maybe with their connection with the government of the north. They only enjoy the government alone. They don't care about what happened to the people. Hello?
Well, listen, we can hear you.
And they don't also care about our economy. This is not how the founding father of the north, like somebody like Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Sadana of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello. This is not the idea they had about the North when the North was created, so to say. This is not the idea they have about their people. Sadana of Sokoto cared very much about the people of the North when he was the leader of the North. But today, our northern leaders politicize everything to themselves. They politicize the power, they politicize even the business to themselves because of the gain they will have to themselves. You understand? So our northern leader doesn't care. And everything that is happening happens because our people don't have the power to tell them anything. When you speak, they'll victimize you. So our economy is continuing to continue to go down because the way the other people other regions are struggling, the way they are talking to their people, the northern leader doesn't talk to their people like that. And the Christian man in the studio, don't be offended. The analysis you give, if you are there and something is happening to your region or to even to any region, and you know you can give this advice to the government or to CN as a body or to any person who is concerned. Like you say, the transmission program is overloaded in one side. Why don't you advise the government to disload it? Why don't you tell the government to do the right so that the North can benefit from the CN program? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Gabriel. Our number is 0916 770 9564. This is the Burgami Classic, and the topic we're dealing with has to do with the power outage.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Jola.
Good morning, my brother. Who's speaking, please?
Mr. Ishola, longest time. This is Abubakar Ibrahim from Oskarmo.
Yeah, Abubakar, how are you?
Fine, sir.
All right.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My question is this. Thank God the TCN is around and the engineer. Maybe all of them, they are in the north. We can say that this time around, they have shown us, say, we didn't have a leader in the north. Because I didn't see the reason why this is where millions of people in the north are relaying and they are playing with their life. Mr. Chola, it is yesterday I come back from Kaduna. 6 days. This engine that we grinding maize and rice and beans and rice, no light. Do you believe from inside Kaduna they will carry rice and maize to the villages where they are getting this local engine? Because some of the people inside the town, they are relying with this NEPA light. We didn't have this local engine that they can grant all these things. Please and please, if these leaders, they are picking us, and they know that it is because of us they are ruling us, please, they should do something in between two things so that we get light in the north. Secondly, the TCN, maybe this land has given them notice, and they didn't take notice in time. It reached almost 9 days, 10 days today. We didn't have light in the north. Mr. Shula, it is a shame a president to come out and tell the security advisor say that they should put security. So it is meant that the budget has passed a power to the government. Why a president cannot tell the security men to go and clear all those bandits they are disturbing people in the north? So after they repair the light, so they are thinking say that they are going to come back to their bad work that they are doing. So what type of leader we have in this country? That is why we are always saying Nigeria democracy is very, very poor. Please and please, they should change the constitution and bring the right thing for the democracy so that a poor man can join this democracy. Believe me sincere, almost 16 years or 20 years, we are doing this democracy. A poor man is not joining this democracy that we are in. So they have to do the right thing, please, so that a poor man can join this country. NEPA, please and please, we are begging you. We are begging you, please. People have run down. See the people they are selling fish. See the people they are doing what that. So many people they have run down. Please and please, if you have solar in your houses, some of the poor man didn't have it. We relay with this like, please and please do something. Do something in these 2 days. We want before Thursday or Friday, please let us get a light. Please and please. Thank you.
Abubakar, you have given your own your deadline. Anyway, that's good to know. A lot is happening. Let's take another caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Who's calling, please?
My name is Jerry from Masaka.
All right, Jerry.
Yeah, talking of power. Honestly, it's not alone. It's generally Nigeria. And there is many solutions. That's a colonial power station that our colonial bring for us. As one of your guests talk, the population is overage. Every time national grid. This is the time to come up from that national grid. Because you cannot tell me and you still have a problem in Niger. It will affect the whole northern state. It will affect Nasarawa, affect Kaduna, affect Sokoto, affect what for what? It's high time now the Sokoto state have the capacity to build their own dam. Build their own power station. Kaduna state have the power. Zamfara state have the power. You understand? Let us liberalize ourselves from this colonial power station that you will see from Mampila. You tie the wire to Meduguri. For what? Is it how it happened in other countries? This is general problem, not even in the north. Let us sit down and every state should sit down, bring their own power, generate it and distribute it to his own citizens. You understand? That's what we say both in this country, because almost this greed, power problems have fallen almost 3 times, 5 times. For waiting in this population we are now, 200-something million people, is unfair. Let us speak out and about the leadership. This leadership generally. It's general leadership force. Go to the east. No any leadership will raise up citizens will listen today. For example, you people will remember the time when they stoned Ike Kuremadu. A deputy senate president, they stone him. Not any governor in South East now go wake up say, let us stop this thing. They will stop. You understand the difference between North and the South is that the East, especially East, they are Republican in nature. No any of you will come say do this. People will do because they know the right thing. People in masses know the right thing. That if you come for North, then unless any give us that, this one give us. No, this is the time where everybody will know his own, or her own right. You understand? Because if you come to now, and the second thing is this is dividing what is happening in North now, the whole Nigeria, as governor of the whole Nigeria are supposed to come. Say this thing is happening in North, they don't want it. It's not only the Northern governor alone. Let us forget about this region. It's dividing us. Let us protect our region. Let us protect our tribe. Let us protect our language. That's what is causing this problem. When it happens to North, other region will just keep quiet. When it happens to East, other region will just keep quiet. When it happens to West, other region will keep quiet. They are continuing dividing us. And the journalists, they are not helping the matter. It's not only the northern leaders supposed to fight this thing. Because other regions are in the north, like me now. I'm in the north. I'm suffering it. What are the journalists not supposed to promise this regional country? All of us have to come together. If it happens to somebody from Meduguri, it will affect the person from Lagos. If it happens to somebody from Port Harcourt, it will affect the person from Sokoto. Let us come and stop this regionalism.
Jerry, thank you. I know you're not happy at all. Yeah, I wish I had some, is it thermometer? To gauge your temperature. But anyway, another caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Who's calling, please, and where are you calling from?
My name is Benga from Lifecam.
Benga. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
How are you?
Very well. I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, yesterday I was misunderstood. I didn't say people should not complain or criticize the government. I only say that people are appreciated much and applaud them when they insult the government. Everybody has an opinion to say. I'm not blocking anybody from saying what they want to say. The hearer and listener will discern who is saying the right thing or not. You have the sense of judgment and form their opinion. On today's issue, I'm not taking another governor serious. If they're together in that place, they roll out their communique, they just follow up with action. That's the question we ask them. Yes, they complain about not being denied of power. Did they provide solution? They did not. They only complain. Like as scholar said, by now, Nigeria should not be on one grid. Nigeria is decentralized. In other climates, developed nations like US and the rest, they have problems with power. But because it's not central, the other states or communities don't even feel it. How can something happen in Lagos and affect somebody in Sokoto? Something happen in Kanji and say something in Bayelsa. It should not be. By now, let us last our grid. Number two, we did not have a lot of people to do with solar. Sambisa Forest there. One kind the northern governors, the northeast, focus on and turn it to a solar plant, a solar farm, and generate their own power. Where Binubuari Forest, where the bandits are hiding, he connected about 5 or 6 states together. Why can't they come together and turn that forest into a solar farm and generate their own power? So I'm not taking them serious because they only complain. They don't look for equal solution. Let me tell you, it's high time that every state generates its own power. Tinubu tried it in his first term as the government. The federal government stopped it. Say no, anything above 1,000 megawatts should be connected to power to another grid. That law has been abolished now. Each state now can generate its own power. So I was expecting them as a resolution to form a block and say not this. It give you 1 or 2 years. Turn that forest to solar farm. Not with their money. There are investors who can do it for them. Not with their money. I'm telling you the reality. Because that power has been regulated now. Both generation and distribution. It's only transmission that handles the government. So that I'm not taking them serious. If they are serious, they will issue a communication and say, look, within 2 years, we want to have our own power generated from solar and wind. They have a wind in the north. They have all these things to generate power. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't think our resource people will disagree with you on that one, because the country is big enough with 36 states. If each state actually concentrates on power for its own people, I don't think we'll have all these qualms. Yes, let's take another caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello?
Bonjour. Okay. That call did not come through. Yeah. Solutions abound. But I think it's the... do we have the caller through? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Who's calling, please?
Thank you very much for this. As usual, my name is Andrew from the
Sorry, I'm not sure we could hear you.
The name is Nasir from the South.
Okay. Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Shola, thank you very much for this. Once again, may God bless you, may God bless Nigeria, may God bless this nation, may God uplift and economy to go high, and may God continue the profit, especially the Amazon justice and the entire country at large. That's not there. Once again, thank you very much. It's a great opportunity to have my kids have a skill and work in our bye for now.
Thank you. Well, when somebody calls to pray for the nation, we never stop them, because this nation needs a lot of prayers. Good morning. Morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Shola.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, sir. My name is Bala Mohammed. I'm calling from Suba Fruits Market this morning.
Yes, Bala, go right ahead.
Thank you, sir. You see, whether you are a politician or you are in support of this government, it's up to you. What we're saying here is who feels it, not it, Lord. I see no reason why the northern side of this country will be put out, power-wise. You understand? And I think there are some people that are sabotaging even the North. You understand? Some people don't want even the North to be electric-wise. You understand? If not, I see no reason why they will tell us about national grid, that when the power is being supplied and somebody did not use his own whatever, when it returns, it blows this place and it blows that place. Or the district post stand they used to put that around the country that some are being blown out. That's why the North is having light. Is it? Are we sure of that? You see, something is happening in the North. And truly, I don't blame the government. I blame the people of the North. We have the highest number of people in the National Assembly. Collectively, what are they doing towards improving the electric structure of the North? What are they doing? You understand? We have the so-called Northern Elders, ACF, and whatever we have, the consultative this and that. You understand? What are they doing? We have the elites, we have the high chiefs, we have everything. What are they doing towards developing the North? The moment you hear them come into the radio house, they make too much high-sounding and meaningless noise.
And that is just to do with their political interest, not the North. You understand? What to the North today is pathetic. The insecurity there, that has driving us not to go to farm, not to do cattle breeding. You understand? Now the power failure to cut it off. So the economy now is being attacked with time. Look at what is happening. Let me take it in Kano just alone. This morning I'm hearing somebody talking about the small and medium enterprises in Kano. They are down, they are grounded. And people have lost billions, Mr. Shola, billions out of this power outage. So what is going on? We cannot farm, we cannot do cattle breeding, and now the economy is trying to, then where do we go? For God's sake. And if you hear them coming to the radio house, they make too much high-sounding, meaningless noise. They are not after the North at all. Like somebody said, he has no sympathy to the North. Well, I would not blame him. I would rather blame my people. You understand? They have the opportunities. What have they done? But they will come to the radio house and start making too much necessary noise, which is very unfortunate. The North has fallen very pathetically tight today, which is unfortunate. And I hang it on the so-called elders, the so-called allies, the so-called chiefs, the so-called politicians. They are liable for all these things. Good morning.
Thank you, Bala. As you can see, I don't think we're going to have a single person who would disagree with the fact that not much has been done in the North. But somebody also kind of, instead of regionalizing it, said the whole country is guilty, you know. One would have also thought that with all the different governments coming in, priorities will first be given to energy. And energy is like a second, in fact, the priorities are upside down. The priorities are upside down. Let that be the last caller. Let me give you two an opportunity to be able to round this off. Ambassador, what is your take on the different comments?
Yes, thank you very much. It's a good opportunity. The reality is that we have serious deficit in terms of the quality of our leadership, whichever way you look at it. And I hope people should realize that the members of the National Assembly are elected by them. And they have the right constitutionally to call them back when they default, when they find out they are not effectively representing them. And I think this is where the problem lies. People should know that they are working for them. But unfortunately, because we're using poverty as a means of getting people hanging on somebody, the only time they have a respect for the people is when they go in for the vote. But as soon as the vote is out, because you are the one that will start dashing people one thing or the other. But people should try to make sure that they mobilize themselves. They ask questions for those that have elected, both from the houses of assembly to the National Assembly, and then try to get leadership within their own community. If people are not doing the right thing, then you should try to put a stop by making sure that you recall them. There's a provision constitutionally for recalling your representatives. And even for those that you have elected as governors, the only provision is that by 4 years, you have a duty to go back to it. If you mobilize themselves, they cannot come back. The level of literacy is very low. I think that is one of the problems. But the fact is, with the kind of thing that we are doing, if people can get themselves mobilized, then maybe if we start checking the excesses of the political appointees or the elected officers, then we'll go somewhere. There is no doubt that there's a lot of pressure, left, right, center. But quite a number of us feel that even if it is not we, it is our generation that actually has felt this issue. And we need to have a lot of apologies for our younger ones, because that is what the country that we have passed through. There's no doubt about it. And one has to accept that fact. Thank you very much.
Engineer Thomas, what is, given the stake in the north and 5 days is an ultimatum, what do you say? How do we, what do you say to the people as somebody from the electrical world? What do you say to the people who are currently suffering?
I had contributions that are meaningful. This interconnection of grid is not out of place. Individuals bringing in their own generating system is not out of place. This is just to augment each other. Globally, this thing is being practiced. Interconnection of grid is practiced. But when you see what is happening, like I gave the analysis earlier, now, 5 days here, that's a good time. But those at the war front now, trying to rectify this problem, you will not know technically they could run into challenges at the point of solving this problem. Now, let me give you my fear. The Kaduna line is out since about 9-10 days today. What happened? With the insecurity we have, vandalism that is so prone, like what happened to Shiroro Kaduna. These towers, 3 of them are down, vandalization on one line. The other one has a similar problem. Now, if a line is out for this period of time, what happened? If vendors are now aware this line is off, they can do any stupid thing they want to do. By the time you finish attending to a problem you have discovered, and then you try to restore, and you find that that line that has been out for so long is also vandalized. Where do we start from? Now, we have to develop serious maintenance culture. Our lives need to be maintained. From time to time, patrol, see problem. Of course, we have high technology today, we call the SCADA, which monitor, it control, get data. Now to see even if there's any oncoming problem, it could be seen and then tackled. Until this technology is built to the level in which we can have easy way to analyze problem. Now that is where I'm afraid today, that after finishing this work from Makodi to Jos, and now discover Kaduna, probably it is vandalized, which I don't hope, and I pray it never happens. What do? You'll find that they may succeed in either restoring just one section, that's the northeast. If you are able to restore from Makodi to Jos, then they can now supply the northeast, from Jos to Gombe, Damaturu, Maiduguri. But if Kaduna line by any means that we're unfortunate that that line has been tampered with during this period, then it means Northwest will still be out.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah.
So we need to develop internal culture.
Sorry, we're literally out of time. You find out that whichever topic that we bring up here in the morning, there's definitely not enough time to be able to get into the nitty-gritty of the topic. We thank you for being part of this morning show. Ambassador Ibrahim Maisele, who's the Vice Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Arewa Consultative Forum, and Engineer Thomas Toro Dunia, ex-director of TCN. So you're just collecting... I'm Shola J for Burgami Classic. Thank you.